If you have ADHD, watch this video. I want to tell you something really quickly, and I hope that it gives you a sense of peace if you were anything like me. I struggled in college, in traditional college. I really had a hard time with sitting and trying to absorb information just in a natural setting, just sitting and listening to somebody talk to me. I couldn't do it. I always thought it was just because I was a kinesthetic learner, and that's definitely part of it. But what I didn't realize was that I had ADHD the whole time. When I found out I had ADHD a few years ago, it opened my eyes to a lot of my tendencies. And now I try to use those things that I've learned to train myself in a way. And I want to tell you this, learning with ADHD is different. Wow, big shocker. I didn't know that. I know that we are always hear the stereotypes about ADHD, and maybe people think it just leads to bad behavior or poor listening skills or different things like that. But I've noticed that with ADHD, we are not the type of folks that you give the whole book to. So if you're going for a certain major, you don't give us the whole book and just say learn this. You have to be a little bit more precise with the information that we need to find. So that's why we need to take advantage of study guides. If you don't have study guides, for the love of God, use ChatGPT to make your own study guides. You really want to make use of notes, as many notes as you can take. And that might be a struggle if you don't know what to take notes on. But you are not really going to get as much from just reading a book if you don't have a deep desire to learn about that topic. And that all being said, I learned this simple phrase that I like to live by. With ADHD, we learn enough to get the job done. And if you can adopt that mindset of learn enough to get the job done, I think you're going to find a lot of success in your life. This is another reason why I think that transparency helps with your disorder. And if you have ADHD, if you're at a workplace or you're trying to build a business, if you can make this clear and not as an excuse, but as foundational, a foundational, a foundation. You see, I just went, my ADHD brain just went to a whole different area because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say there. But if you can, excuse me, that transparency, if you can use it in your relationships and business relationships, it won't be an excuse. But what it will do is it will set an expectation that you are not going to be that typical person that can go and sit and get all of the knowledge and just have it in their head at all times. But you are that person that they do need on the team in the room. Because if there is a problem that the book cannot solve right away, or one of those problems that pop up on demand, or just in the spur of the moment, a solution is needed, you are the person that needs to be in the room. You are. Because with your ADHD, you can learn enough about whatever the problem is and solve it quickly due to your hyper focus and your ability to hone in on the urgent task because it's something that is urgent. So with us, we tend to jump to things that are novel, things that are just very exciting or new, but also those things that are urgent, those things that have a sense of urgency. That's why we're able to study and cram for a test right before the due date or the date for the test. We're able to do the essays last minute because our brain is kicking in and we're able to focus in on it. So you need somebody like that on your team because this is the person that when everybody else's hair is on fire and nobody can come up with solutions, if you're there, you're going to be the go-to come up with solutions. And that's why you need to make sure that you understand your learning ways, how you learn best, but then also you don't have this unrealistic expectation for yourself to know everything. And this is what helped me deal with my imposter syndrome. When I was hired into being a software engineer, I didn't go to school for software engineering. So I always felt behind. And then I asked my directors, I said, why did you hire me knowing I didn't have a background? I mean, I didn't have a formal education in software engineering. And they said it was the scrappiness, the willingness to figure it out. And that changed my whole perspective on my career, on my life, and gave me a different sense of confidence because I realized they didn't want me to know every single thing that my coworker knew as far as software engineering and all of the different basics of it. They needed me to be that person where if there's an issue, take it to Shannon. If there's something that we need to get figured out, it's a new software and we don't know who can do it, take it to Shannon. And being that go-to, I'm telling you, it gives you such a sense of purpose on a team and in an environment. So I hope that you guys take this to heart. I hope that you save this video. And I don't do shorts. I'm making some shorts just to bring folks to the channel. If you want this type of content, but you want it deeper, because I'm holding myself back right now, I want you to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. When I release videos, watch the videos. Let me know what you want to see. And then also, I do live streams 3 times a week. I do live streams. I show you how to plan work. I show you how to track your work, and I also show you how I work. So you get that full scope of work and life and all of that good stuff on live streams with me every single week. So make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, and I will see you in the next one. Keep fighting for your life. Peace.